Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of Blood on the Severn, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in Bristol, England in the year 2017. With me tonight,
Max playing Nanda's Art of the Ministry.
Peter playing Janusz Kroll of Clan Jimitsu.
Rob playing Dermot Brine of Clan Malkavian.
Alice playing Matilda Wells of Clan Ventru.
and for those, thank you for joining us, and for those who joined us last Monday for Dermot's Embrace, I'm hoping that you had as much fun as we did. Now, today's recap is mostly on the relevant events on Season 2 that brought us where we are. So Season 2 saw many changes, like the Second Inquisition chasing Carl effectively out of Bristol, going as far as to attacking Janus's haven. Something that, well, they paid the price for, or at least two of them, for they were sacrificed to Kupala in a joint, very strange ritual that Nangisel and Janus enacted on the grounds under the earth. A new member of the coterie, a new representative of the Camarilla, has joined. Dermot, someone who we saw have conversations with the Toreador Primogen to be appointed to this. He has been diligently trying to increase the security of the Lockleys domain and going as far as to offering a new communal haven to be used as new HQ. Matilda was in a very, very tight race for representative of the BS3 area. The Anarchs had their representatives elections, and each one of their domains would have candidates running for their posts. Sadly, that all went south fast. Attacks on a couple of the voting centers, one of them being the voting center in which Nangisel was submitting the coterie's vote for Jacinta in the BS16 area, were attacked. It is unclear who did this, but the coterie are fairly certain that it was Second Inquisition. Nangisel and Janus found evidence that pointed in that direction, while Dermot and Matilda were trying to find Jacinta. Jacinta messaged Matilda and said that she was okay, that someone had offered to take her to safety, and that someone was Caleb, the child of Obasiki Kelomo, Ventru Primogen of the Camarilla, and someone Matilda does not like one bit. In an effort to try and ensure the safety of Jacinta, Matilda and Dermot went to her location as fast as possible, while Janus was having conversations with one of the survivors of the attack, an Anarch Bruya who was right pissed at what had happened. Nangisel followed the man she saw running from the scene all the way to the church, Father Michael's church. And since she had been stalking the area, she could recognize some of them as regulars. And now she has a very clear idea of which members of the congregation might be Second Inquisition and which ones are just churchgoers or chess players. Matilda found Caleb and Annie, someone who had been, well, they are not who they have been claiming to be. This woman was wearing a long cloak and had the same fine features and the Roman nose that Diarmuid had seen on footage on previous nights investigating the death of Scott, Mitchell's sire. It became clear that Annie was no Malkavian, but a Tremere, when she used blood sorcery to try to strike Matilda down. Luckily for her, but unluckily for Audrey, Frankie, aka Squid, used his preternatural strength to jump in the way and push Matilda out of harm's way, taking the full brunt of the ungodly fires. Diarmuid was enraged at someone impersonating a member of his clan, and something took over him, something that made him wild, feral. In the end, Annie managed to wrestle free of Matilda's attempts to stop her by dominating her and forcing her to take Diarmuid away. But when even she could not restrain Diarmuid, Caleb shot him multiple times and made escape, as the rest of the coterie is on their way. And that's where we ended last season. So we're going to jump right in. Matilda is still under the compulsion, mesmerized to be precise, that Annie placed on her to take Diarmuid out of the warehouse. Diarmuid is, well, lost in himself, kneeling on the ground, fairly wounded, and not quite, his mind is not quite here. And in a corner, Audrey is trying to contain the anger as she's desperately crying, trying to get Frankie to react in some way. So, Alice, Rob?
Is my compulsion, is the mesmerized compulsion just to get Dermot out?
Yeah, it's you and is get out and take the Malkavian with you.
That's fine. All right, I'll put Dermot's. I'll take Dermot's hand. I'll put his arm over my shoulder, try and pull him up, and get him out of the building. And just say we have to go. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He'll happily take a little bit of a arm around the shoulders and sort of look at her and say, "Hey, you come when I need you. You red-headed witch." And he'll just start trying to breathe heavily and then just start trying to heal himself.
Can you get a rouse checks, please? Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Oh, well, wait a second. Now that we're doing checks and now that the situation has passed, the previous scene is over and the session is over, there was a little thing about stains last session, wasn't there, Alice?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, again, they haven't. Yeah, I have to roll because I can't shield myself.
So
I have no willpower. Does that make any difference? Well, I just roll humanity, right?
Well, you had. So hang on a second. Let's start at the beginning. You gain stains. Yeah. And I think it was two.
I was able to shield one because I had the what was it? It was against the my clan right, my sect right or wrong
Okay.
And I was able to shield that because none may control me, and I told that Anarch off.
Yes.
But it's the none may control me that I'm not able to shield anything against.
Yes, exactly. So you had one stain that you shielded from breaking a Chronicle Tenet, my faction rider run, especially when you did that in front of a Camarilla member.
Yeah.
But none may control me. And you have been not supernaturally controlled, but also utterly socially manipulated and basically controlled by the machinations of Annie and Caleb. So how much willpower do you have? Temporary willpower.
Big fat 0.
Oh, 0. So you're impaired also. That is...
Oh yeah.
That's good to know. That was your state at the end of last session. Of course, you will regain willpower at some point. So you would effectively roll a humanity check. A remorse check. A remorse check will ask how many remorse dice you have. And it is basically however many empty spaces you have in your humanity. It doesn't have to deal with your willpower.
Okay.
So you have humanity. Your humanity is 6, right?
6. Yeah.
And you took a total of 2 stains.
Yeah.
So you filled 2 out of the 4 boxes. You have 2 boxes remaining.
Okay.
So your number of remorse dice is 2.
Lovely. Okay.
And you need at least 1 success not to lose humanity. She scores 2 successes.
Nice. Okay.
So there is some guilt that you're experiencing from the fact that you have been controlled.
Yeah, that checks out.
You could not justify it or rationalize it as in we were deceived, not controlled, or you try. You know, when you lose your humanity over these kind of things, you try to rationalize it and you accept it, you internalize it. But in this case, it's the complete opposite. Even if someone tries to present the point of you being deceived collectively, it's different from being manipulated or controlled.
Yeah.
You will not accept that. You will see this as a form of control, subversive, insidious, but it's a form of manipulation and control that you cannot live with yourself with.
Yeah.
You cannot
and
allow
I
that.
think she's sort of pulling Dermot out of the room, kind of supernaturally compelled to do so. She's just looking back at Audrey and Squid, and she wants desperately to go back to them as well, but she can't. So she just keeps moving with him on her shoulders.
Diarmuid, could you please do a rouse check to try and heal the some of the superficial damage you have on you?
Yeah, he'll be sort of muttering prayers under his breath as he's sort of clutching himself. Ooh.
So you succeed. You heal 1 superficial.
I am no longer impaired.
That is great news. So slowly but surely,
Yeah.
Matilda feels the weight on her shoulder, Dermot's weight on her shoulders, ease off a bit as he's standing more and more on his feet slowly until you both set foot right outside the warehouse. And at that moment, you have fulfilled the mesmerize just by setting foot outside with him. And you feel it go away.
Okay, then she's going to run straight back and see what state Squid is in.
Dermot will call after you. Where are you going? We got to get after that bitch.
She's gone. She's gone. And then, yeah.
So you go straight to Audrey and Squid. She is sobbing, like, please, baby, please. Like, she's trying. She's not touching him lots. I mean, she's kneeling on the ground. She has pulled him towards her, and she's more holding him and trying to get a reaction. He looks burnt. His left forearm and hand are gone, burned effectively, charred bone even. He is severely burned. Something in you tells you this is not final death, for he's not decomposing or anything, you know?
Yeah.
But he does not look well at all.
Okay. Right. There's nothing. I mean, Matilda can't do anything. She has no. She wouldn't even know where to start. So she'll just put. She'll put a hand on Audrey's hand and just say, people are coming. Just stay with him. Right.
When she turns, her eyes are red, like not glowing crazy red, like Dangercel's dark, like beast eyes of the beast. They're bloodshot. Blood is in her face. Her blood, tears of blood. And you see Audrey as you have never seen her before. A chill goes down your spine. She is right now giving you the look of deathly intent that you saw once in the Sheriff of Leeds.
I'll just.
Who?
Sorry.
She will die. I will kill her.
We will.
You do recognize she's on the brink of a nasty fury frenzy. You see her long dagger just on the floor within arm's reach.
Okay. I'm just gonna say we will get her. We'll make her pay. Promise. Keep it together.
If he dies, if my Frankie dies, I'll have my clan reign on this city. I'll pull every boon I've accumulated over 15 years working with the autarkies, and I'll fucking end this.
It won't come to that, promise. If it does, I'll be right there with you. I want they're fucking dead.
She just goes back to Frankie and just says, how much longer? And she starts asking questions, when are people coming and all that.
Yeah, sure.
I'll
call out to Dermot and I'll answer her questions, and then eventually I'll call out to Dermot and just say, are they here yet?
So Dermot.
Yeah.
Matilda left you. You said you had to chase her. She says they're gone. Something. It's like a trail of glamour. You can smell it. But it's sort of that unseelie glamour that sometimes is not resonant with what you want. Is dissonant with the world. Is in the area she was. And you can feel it in another area of the warehouse. And then another. So Dermot feels that there is more more of this that needs to be explored. I mean, after all, you haven't looked behind the trees or under the creek.
He will open his senses to the world, pull his sword up, and then just start stepping off to follow whatever glamour lies before him. He is on the hunt. And he will probably, as he goes, continue to sort of mutter the prayers and look to see if he can, again, just close his wounds, preparing for that fight.
So there is something as you pass some of the bushes and you step into a clearing. And in the middle of a clearing, you see what could be a sleeping maiden. Her back is towards you. She's on the ground, and the moonlight shines softly over her. But your sword, blessed by Michael, Archangel, starts feeling warm to the touch. It's not burning you, it's comforting for you, but you know this will burn unholy creatures that have turned away from the grace of God. And the fires of Gabriel fuel you. You start walking towards this clearing, and you hear the whispers of the Slua in the air. There's enough keening here, fit for a king of Arcadia. But sadly, this maiden is not slumbering, but slowly turning to stone and then dust. No messages, just a warning. Time waits for no man. All shall meet him, and in his kingdom bask or suffer for their sins. Your sword, the fire in it, is extinguished. What does Diarmuid do?
Where the ashes lay, he'll say a prayer, plunge the sword into the ground, take a knee, heed the warning, and wait. Reaching out to his brothers, sisters, to try and call to them, tell them of the wrong that's being done to us.
Matilda starts looking for Diarmuid. He is in a separate area of the warehouse. He's kneeling in front of a low desk, monkey wrench in hand. There is a dent in the ground, and he's praying.
Is there anything else in the area where he's plunged the monkey wrench into the ground? Nothing else?
Yes.
Do you wish another rouse check?
Yes, please, if you're healing. Ooh, lucky you. The power of your faith. You feel that the moonlight turns bright and blesses you. It heals your wounds. It's the second miracle. While Diarmuid is looking at the ceiling, at one of the big lights, big lamp lights that you would use in a warehouse that you need that to be like very lit. It's like a big, massive light. Very bright. You can see that in front of him, there is a mix of things that take you a second to process. Some blood, not much, in a small area. Drawings of some type with chalk and charcoal. And clothes that were probably once around what is now the very dead and almost dusty bones of Jacinta. You recognize the clothes.
Right, as Matilda goes to sort of approach them and she sees what's there, she'll, in a sort of moment of losing her composure, just kick the nearest thing near her, like a chair, and just give a really fucking hurt scream. And then take a deep breath, pull herself together, and go up to Dermot. Is he still praying?
Yes, he does not seem to have registered your outburst or any noises. But in his mind, perhaps a second has passed. His perception of time, Rob, is also distorted.
Right. She'll probably go in front of him and, in an effort to coax him out of whatever he's in, start maybe to say like an our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and sort of see if he joins in with that, just to bring him back to where she is, perhaps.
One of the knights of the company, Dermot, a Gabrielite, starts praying. And
You're joining with her.
And you start hearing the chorus joining the two of you. In the meantime, let's jump to Janice and Nanjasel. So you were on your way already to the warehouse in Yui, or near Yui.
Yeah, Lug is driving it, I think.
Yeah, Lug picked you up and you get there. So by the time you get there, Nanjasel will go to the warehouse. I don't know if she's gonna call Matilda or if she's just going to have a look first.
I think probably because I think the recollection that I have of this is that she thinks it's urgent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go into the warehouse or like wherever there's an open door or whatever, to looking for them.
So you get as fast and as quietly as you can.
I tell Janusz this is what I'm doing, so because obviously he's not going to be at the same speed as me.
Yeah,
correct.
I'm not going to wait for him. So
what you see through the open door or half open door is Audrey. You do recognize her, and she's holding the body of someone that has been apparently burned, and you can smell burning flesh because you had activated your Blush of Health because you were out voting earlier this evening and it lasts the whole night.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just one scene, it's for the night. So you have your Blush of Health and you are instinctively breathing and you can smell the charred skin. Closer inspection reveals it not to be Matilda nor Dermot.
So I can approach them.
You recognize them as Matilda's friends, yes.
Yes, okay.
So it would be reasonable.
Okay, so I will I'll approach and probably crouch down or sit down next to Audrey, so I'm at her level. And I'll say, "Right, Audrey."
Oh, thanks for coming. And you can see dry blood in her cheeks, and she's still clutching him. It's like, please help me get him somewhere. There were shots fired. The police might be coming any moment now.
Of course I will. I'll say, tell you what, why don't you leave him to me? I sort him out. And if you walking out that door, you're going to run into Janos. I'm sure he'll take care of you. Do you know where Matilda and Dermot are to?
I saw Matilda walking in that way, and she gestures with her head. But I don't want to leave Frankie. I will wait until Janice is here, so between the two of us can carry him.
I'll get my phone out. Mm-hmm. I'll call Lug and tell him to come in here and help.
Yep.
And then I'm going to head to wherever she thinks that Matilda and or Dermot are.
Okay. So as Janice is shuffling at a normal pace, he sees Lug run past him.
On your left.
Yeah, on your left. When Janos is approaching the door, Audrey and Lug are carrying Squid at least to the outside, to an area where the parking's, to where there's an immediate parking, so Lug can go and get the car. In the meantime, Nat Giselle finds Dermot and Matilda praying in front of the remains of Jacinta. You have a complete certainty that it is Jacinta because she's wearing the same clothes she was wearing earlier tonight. Only it's bones.
So I'll, in which case, when I yes, I'll go. Balls, it didn't work then.
Oh.
They got to her anyways.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, May.
Yeah.
Didn't mean for it to turn out like this. What's with Dermot?
I don't know. He
It'll kind of lean over to her. It's just a demon.
What?
No, it's Nanj. It's an angel. It's an angel.
Go. Are you calling me a demon? You're having a laugh, aren't you?
Dribbling all over the floor. It's covered in the depths. Coming for us.
What are you on about?
He's.
He'll point up the spanner at her and stay away.
I'll stay his hand and I'll be like, it's fine.
Oh, really? It's going to be like that, is it?
No, he's undergone. There was something. He had a split, a crack or something.
I tell you what, you try and hit me with that, I'll crack your head open with it.
You bring your hate here, and there'll only be vengeance for you. Calm yourself.
He's lost his mind? What happened there?
There were... So, Jacinta saw Caleb. And Jacinta said she was going to go with Caleb.
That looks such a tosser.
Do you know who was with her? Him. Annie.
What?
He was here the whole fucking time.
Sorry. What did you say who was here? Annie was in the
warehouse.
Annie?
Him.
Little fucking orphan Annie with the plushy shark. You were having a fucking laugh. All this time, I said she was dodgy as fuck. No, Nanj.
I know.
It wasn't. You're. Shit.
You were right.
All this fucking time, you all said I was the one that had a conspiracy. I didn't know what was going on. And all of this time, I was right.
Dermot will step right in between the two of them
You
to
would
try
have
and
listened to
protect
me
Matilda.
in the first place. None of this would have happened. You know what you would have done? Put her in a fucking box and Jesus Squid would have been alive and it all would have been fine.
We didn't know. How was any of us supposed to know?
I knew! I told you! I told all of you! And none of you listened to me! I knew it! You just said I was crazy! You wrote me off like you always do, and now there's this!
I never said you were crazy. At the time, she didn't seem suspect. She didn't seem...
To any of you! Everywhere she went, trouble went with her. And she was talking to Caleb, and I pointed it out all the time.
Do you think I don't know? Do you think I don't know how it just turned out? Do you think I'm not thinking what it would have been like if I just listened to you?
Well, good. Maybe next time that is what will happen.
There won't be a next time.
Well, it
We're
seems.
going to hunt her down and finish this beast.
Yeah, we are.
Janice listens to
You know where
that.
she is, then?
I'm sorry. Janice listens to the argument, and now is at the door. So
We don't know where she is. She left. She and Caleb.
Nigel and Janice can very clearly note the bullet holes on Dermot and some of the blood staining his clothes. But he looks fine. He's wielding a monkey wrench.
He'll be holding up towards the two of you and watching you really warily, like in a proper defensive position.
I'll say, what is this about Caleb and Annie?
Two of them are in it together. She's beguiled him.
Because I was right.
Creature of shadow and fire, wrapped in illusion.
She did that to Squid. She did something to me. She made me leave so we couldn't follow her.
You had a conflict with them. Where are they?
Got away. You want I should try and follow their trail?
Perhaps we shall see if they left one.
Right.
I think on this day we can set aside our differences and perhaps find an alliance to hunt down this creature, no?
It was my understanding we're already in an alliance, Dermot. We're part of the same coterie. Unless you've forgotten. Yanush will turn and start making his way out. He will say to Matilda, they went this way?
Did they go this way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Importantly, as Nigel and Janusz start looking around, and Dermot is trying to process these truths between the creatures of darkness and light to hunt those of the underworld. And Matilda is processing the loss of a friend. Janusz has a police officer approach to him. I think someone who is right there walking towards you very matter-of-factly.
Does this police officer look anything like the police? Was he one of the police officers that was around with Reuben earlier?
Yes. He says, I believe we have to leave.
Yes, it seems we do.
Titch is here.
Ah, well, we will no doubt want to speak with him then.
Gather your friends. We will take over this investigation. And in the distance, you can hear the sirens. So, what do you guys do?
I'll say, can you drive your car all right?
To me.
Yes, sorry, yes, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Matilda will pick up what remains of Jacinta, just her clothes and stuff, and just say, yeah, it's fine. I can drive.
Is there anything else from here we've got to take?
Have you got a camera?
Yeah. Take my
photo.
latest burner phone out. Yeah.
The chalk marks on the ground.
I'll photograph whatever Matilda tells me.
By the,
If there is an opportunity to surreptitiously get one of Jacinta's bones,
Classy.
take it with me, then I will. Because it might be a nice thing to give to Kapala, right? Put it in his
okay.
hand.
I don't.
Nothing else to claim.
Okay, I do not think Matilda would be super vigilant. She would be more trying to tempt Dermot, unless she's like suspicious or anything, or like looking. But I don't think there is any reason for her. And I believe Nigel's pool for this kind of sneaky activities, let's call them that,
Yeah.
is quite good.
Early acquisitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, dexterity. Your dexterity plus larceny halved is 3, so it would be the equivalent of 3 successes against Matilda's right now resolve plus awareness. She's not that.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dermot's probably going to turn and say, I'll go start looking for tracks to see where they might have made their way off to.
Seems we got to clear out because the police are on their way here and teachers here, so we may not have a chance.
So what, we leave the hunt?
Well, I'm all for going after them, tracking, and that's why I was asking if May could be driving, because we can follow their trail by car, probably, or at least
I'll
get
ride
out.
with you.
What?
I'll ride with you.
We got Squid in our car with Audrey, so we ain't got space. Oh wait, unless do you want to go with Janusz and I'll go with Matilda? Because Lugger drive you if I tell him to.
And looks cautiously at Janusz. Aye.
Right. So I'll give the instructions to Log,
Okay.
and then I will try. Well, when we're leaving, we'll try and follow whatever trail, if there is a trail that's been left behind. But if Dermot says he knows the trail, then I'll follow where he says.
So the coterie leave the area of the warehouse where they found Jacinta's body, and before you exit the warehouse proper, Reuben comes in with Teach. Teach doesn't look friendly tonight. All right. Any of you fuckers have any idea what had happened tonight? Because I don't like the sound of what Reuben mentioned.
Yeah, well, let's just say we were linked back to Caleb like we thought. But turns out he's in league with one of the refugees from London.
What does Caleb have to do with the Second Inquisition assaulting on our territories? Huh? It's a fucking full-blown attack. Am I correct?
Well, I don't know that what happened here was linked to what happened with the Second Inquisition. They're two separate things.
Yes.
But there is Teach. Somebody, girl Annie.
Who the fuck's Annie?
She's been masquerading here as something she's not.
So she's a Malkavian. She's not a Malkavian.
She ain't.
She is not one
Then
of
what
us.
is she? She's not a Malkavian. What is she?
She's a sorceress and a witch.
She's a Tremere.
That's who was
Bloody
guilty.
Tremere?
That's who was guilty of killing the people we've been after. That's the end of this. But she's just gotten away. We was just on our way to try and find her.
They're traitors with no honor, and they need to be brought to justice.
Well, you guys are lucky that this is the third area in the city that had lots of fire and gunshots. So police were a little strained and Reuben pulled his strings. So it's his people checking this.
Well, as for the society, I followed them away from the polling station. All the ways back to some place where they changed cars. They got out, they drove all around the city, or around the centre, then they got out of a car, switched cars, and drove off, and that's where I lost them.
Well, we'll need to talk about this later. But this is full confirmation of the Society of Leopold here.
Yes.
And if we want to avoid war amongst factions, we better bring this information to the representative of each sect now. Because the Anarchs are out for blood. I've heard of a couple of Camarilla people who have been mauled already. Anarchs believe the Camis assaulted them during their elections.
Well, it weren't them. And I could pick the other people out of a lineup if we had it. There was about 8 of them, I think. But, as I say, I lost them. I am, of course, lying to his face, so if you want to make a roll. And
Yes. Yes, please. So it would be...
my amazing social pool versus teacher's, I guess, edge of fury, frenzy, anger. No?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Are you rousing the blood for this?
I mean, probably, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Wait, how hungry am I? Can I even do that? I might be on hunger 4.
3.
You can do it. You can do
Oh
it.
yeah.
3? Oh yeah, sure.
You're on 3.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's browse them.
Okay.
And I succeed at it, don't I? Yeah.
You do want to succeed, yeah.
I'm doing this for you.
I appreciate that.
So that we can kill them ourselves.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yes.
But yeah.
But
So you have a total of 2 successes, and you can only reroll 1 die with your 1 point of willpower left.
I mean, I feel like, even though this is not a sensible thing to spend this on, I feel like it is a thing she would spend it on.
Okay. So lucky 3rd success.
So at least I'll have put up a good effort when he beats me.
Roll 20 is making it suspenseful for me.
I thought when you said that, I thought you were going to say you rolled 20 successes. That's going to be like,
No. Roll 20 is making it suspenseful for me. He narrows his eyes and looks at you.
With my 0 roll.
Wanna run that by me again? Nanjacell?
Don't think you want to make it angry. I'd say taking a step back.
Yeah.
I'll say, I followed them in the car, and they went all around the houses, around the centre, around town, and they stopped and changed cars. And then it was, I lost them for a bit, and then I got on their trail again. And anyways, I tracked them back to what I think is where they're based. I got some camera footage of them all.
And where is
In a
this?
I'll give him the name of the church. Because I think that I might die if I don't.
Yes, you will.
It's only episode 1.
So in Dermot's mind, this guy that you are sure he's teach, because something in your mind says, well, teach is something that you could recognize. That's the word. You could recognize as that part of you that usually wanders off into the realms of man. He just looks like an impressive man made of stone. Very hard stone. And through the cracks you can see the light coming out as it's getting hotter and hotter.
I will talk to my prince and lord about the matters of treachery. I give you my word that I will hunt down those who have turned against us and against you this night.
Well, I'll speak to Roger. I'll try and...
Now. You'll do those things. Now. And then tomorrow, first thing the sun comes down, everyone that was in this warehouse, I want them in my domain. See you in Avonmouth. Be gone. And I assume you are gone?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Matilda has her hand, like, just on Dermot's arm for most of this, just trying to, in case he decides to wield a monkey wrench again.
Yeah, it's a good thing that the conversation was not directed at him in the middle of him having succumbed to his bane. So you're taken. You're escorted out. You see a few patrol cars and they are already cordoning the area. Lug picks you up. He has Audrey sitting in the bag with Squid laying with her. And she asks if you can drive them to Portishead.
Sure, we can take him there. We need some sort of. I'll get some. Can I assume he's got some sort of blanket or something in the car that you can put over Squid?
He does.
Yeah. In case we're driving around, so I'll say, we can drive you down to Portishead. But we was also going to get on the trail of where these folks have got to. So now I'm wondering, Matty, if we four get in the car and Lug, you take Audrey into Squid home.
Yeah,
How's that?
I think that makes sense.
Right.
Okay, cool.
I'll tell Lug, call me if there's any problems of any kind. Yeah, and take them where they need to go. Take the, be like, observe all of the rules of the road, etc. Don't get caught, all of that stuff. Yeah.
He will do as he's told. What are the rest of you doing? Sorry.
I think we're going to get in Matilda's car and try and follow whatever trail Annie might have left.
Well, then Matilda's probably going to say, Teach didn't look like he was mucking around. It looks like Dermot and I need to talk to our faction tonight. How much time? What's the time right now, Thomas?
It's around 2 in the morning.
Okay.
1 to 2 in the morning, yeah. Like the attacks happened after midnight, and then you were driving around. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Do we not want to at least see if there is a trail first?
They've already let my prince know we should move before the trail gets too cold.
We should follow it, for sure. This person not only attacked the two of you, also was guilty of making unsanctioned rituals in our domain and killing people there. So you need their head knocking off.
She defiled our domain, and she destroyed other kindred in our domain, devoured their souls which were not for her.
Alright, Matilda's gonna get her phone out and call Roger's secretary, I guess. And not Roger, she does not have his personal mobile number. And just say
No, he doesn't pick up voicemail.
Oh, of course, okay. Alright, in which case I'll say right, this is Matilda Wells. I have information about the events of tonight. I will come to Ashton Court this evening, later. Thank you. And then just put the phone down. And then she'll say, yeah, we need to, Annie's a priority.
We need to go and get her now. She has wronged us.
Yes. Nangiselle speaks the truth of it. You say you have a trail, damn it.
We see the glamour in the air.
The what?
See if we can follow it.
Good.
Right, well, you can tell us where to go then.
Good.
Okay, so could you please make a check of, it would be resolve plus awareness minus your clan bane.
Ho ho ho. Resolve plus awareness, yeah.
Yes, resolve plus awareness minus your clan bane.
What did you do minus?
You just write minus in the number in the modifiers.
-2. I believe it's -2, isn't it?
Yes, -2.
Yeah, not happening.
So you have a total failure.
Wow.
Because that is 0 successes everywhere in not meeting the difficulty. So you cannot succeed at a cost.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already... let's put you on impaired. Mentally. Instead of giving you a compulsion while in the middle of a clan bane. That already... Like, I don't want to pile on things. That I think this would be too much. Can you just roll your auspex? It would be your wits plus auspex. No penalties.
Okay.
So you can roll. You can go to the discipline
I'll roll,
and roll discipline, wits plus discipline in your auspex.
Can I just do a wits with a modifier of 1 or?
Yeah, you could do that. There are many ways to do it. Also, next to the power aspects, there are like a couple of fields that you can, like, drop down menus. But you can also do wits plus 1.
Okay.
And there it is. Okay, so yes, you're impaired, but at least something.
So he will also continue to try and heal over this time as well.
Okay. So he's trying to see the glamour, and he's asking God for help. And he's praying to saints.
Wrong god.
Correct.
Sorry, what?
Wrong god.
Wrong god.
You pray to Saint Anthony so he can help you find things. And you can see the glamour out and around a parking lot. Not far from where you are. And then you see the glamour sort of concentrate in an empty place. Of course, everybody else see him. He's looking at an empty car space. But you're looking at a stable with no horse. But as if they had gone into the horse and the horse had flown at a very high speed. You see that thinning trail almost being torn by the speed of it. But what catches your attention is the relic on the ground. It must be a holy relic of the faith. Something that they tried to steal but couldn't. Something that needed to be treasured. Diarmuid is holding a slightly bent piece of jewelry in his hand. And Matilda and Nangisel recognize it as one of the earrings that Annie had. One of the cutesy little earrings with a bear. It's bent. Of course, Matilda knows that this is because it was hit together with everything around that earring by a monkey wrench.
That's Annie's earring.
There is a tiny bit of blood. And he's just holding it in his hand.
I carved this off of her unholy body. So
Wait.
that...
Get it over to Janusz.
Good job, Dermot.
Now, so I'm not sure there is much I can do with this at this moment. But we should keep it nonetheless.
Given time, do you think you could?
There might be others who'd be interested in finding her. Members of her other sorceresses and witches.
They can't be
Those who
trusted.
follow the path of light rather than her dark foulness.
So
Maybe.
Janusz is going to close his eyes and try and get a sense. He suspects they're probably long gone by now, but to have a sense if there are any other kindred in the area that are not in the direction where Teach and the others are and are not us, that might perhaps be zooming away from us.
No. Between the moment they left and you arriving, at least 5 to 10 minutes
sure,
passed.
that's
So
fine.
they're long gone.
So where is this trail, Dermot? Do you see
It's
anything?
gone. It take too long. I see nothing. Sadly.
Then I think there is nothing more to be done here.
Do you want me to make a rouse check, Carlos?
Yes, please.
Is it
Keep
one
on.
that we heal for each time that we rouse?
Yes.
Okay.
You start healing more. Wow, you're on a roll, man.
Yep.
You have not gone hungry and you have healed like what, 3 already?
Three.
Oh my god. Good work. Yes,
Can we keep hold of that earring then?
sorry?
Can we keep hold of the earring?
Well, he has it in his hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holding it tight.
Can I keep hold of that?
What you gonna do with it?
Well, I'm not going to do nothing with it. Janusz is good with things like this.
He said he wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. I'm
Well,
just
not
thinking
yet.
there might be others in our sect who
Well,
might
you
be
can't-
interested.
You can't trust the Tremere. They're what did this. You
No.
don't know she's some rogue. She's probably acting on their orders.
Are you questioning the honor of my brothers and sisters?
What? You're the only one here. And no, that's not what I said at all. What I said is the Tremere are twats, which is what all of us knew anyways. And besides nothing else, the last time I had an inkling about relating to Annie, turns out I was right and no fucker listened to me. So, how about this time we go with my idea?
But if
Dermot,
you
are
remember,
you saying that the Tremere are brothers and sisters to you?
we are warriors together.
Dermot's a bit confused right now, I think.
Yes, it does seem that he is not quite himself. Perhaps.
Mate, I think you need your
You
headphones.
better to find a witch than a witch.
I think
Something.
give
Sorry, Matilda. Something comes, Dermot. Something comes from one strand. One strand that is trying to connect itself to your head, but you feel it in your nose. Like a little cobweb you run into. A seer. Is the answer to the question. Of course, none of the others hear it. Alice, go on.
We all are going to go see Teach tomorrow morning. Why don't we give the earring to Janusz? He can keep it in his house. It's safe. And then we bring it to Teach in the morning. In case...
There are others, brothers and sisters.
I know, and
No others who have sight vision who might be able to find them.
okay, but that's
What, tonight?
That's for tomorrow.
Yes.
Why not tonight?
Because the sun is coming and this is not a time to be travelling unnecessarily. There are many eyes out this evening.
Not sure what
There have been many attacks. There are many kindred angry in the streets, some that will hold your brothers and sisters and you responsible.
Aye, we should get to ground and get some rest. But your squire, he could take it if given a place, no?
Me what?
Your squire,
Me
look.
squire? What are you talking about?
Sorry.
Given a place, he could take this somewhere.
Yes.
Give it to a seer, somebody who could perhaps find where she's gone.
Yeah?
Yes, we will take it to Teach tomorrow, and I'm sure there is something that can be done.
Teach isn't a seer.
Teach will know someone.
But he will have seers who are in his debt. I promise you that. Speaking of seers, there is another problem, something that troubles me.
What?
Annie. If Annie is the one that has been behind all of this, Annie has also shared visions with Carl. Now, seems to me either Carl was in some way under Annie's spell, or Carl too has some association with her. For he saw the same thing that she saw. They saw things together, things that had led us in our thinking for a long time.
What if she was lying to him?
But he saw it. So either she lied to his vision itself, she misled his sight, or
They're in on it.
he was in on it as well.
You
can't have been.
Well, he was the one all the time saying how helpless she was, and he weren't right, was he?
Yes, because he has a good
and I
heart.
wasn't here when she first arrived, and yet you besmirched me. Essentially accusing me of as much being involved, and now that he's not here to defend himself, you would take umbrage with Carl. What is this? As soon as I turn my back, are you going to turn on me?
Well, it depends how much of a tosser you are.
Says the one who fills this place with hate and spills it out across us all.
She has spoken only the truth, to my understanding.
Right.
This is
Now,
we casting aspersions on Carl right now where he isn't here. Dermot's right.
It's not aspersions, it's evidence. I'd have thought you would have understood that because you're a bloody lawyer.
it is a question. Is Carl a victim of Annie's attack? Or is Carl an ally of Annie's?
Well, then
I see.
Let's haul him to Bristol and ask him.
You seek to try and bring down our brotherhood, much as all those other vagabonds who have struck against us tonight, who have not sought out truth, but instead just sought out some enemy to strike against.
Well, excuse me for saying so, but it seems like she is an enemy. She did your nutting, right?
And you are to say that there are not members of your group who would not strike out against others,
So you
who
what?
have not
so
wronged you. As
so
I said, they're
far,
traitors.
no.
They need to
So
be
far,
hunted
this
down.
season, all my people have turn up and help everybody. That's all they've done. Even Ruben.
We
I'm not talking
are
about tonight.
speaking-
I'm saying in general, if you had a traitor amongst your midst who broke your rules, would you not just hunt them down and deal with them?
I would if I knew where they was or how to get to them. For sure. That's what I'm saying we should be doing. But you're saying you don't got the trail no more.
Aye.
Right. So where do we go?
We are talking in circles. There is nothing that we can be done apart from driving around Bristol aimlessly. There's nothing.
No, that is a waste of our time. We should return.
We think this out, and then tomorrow morning we go and talk to Teach and hope he has, I don't know, a seer. I hope he's calmed down.
This is a matter for us.
I agree.
No, I meant
For the camera.
for my prince. They are individuals who have wronged us.
No,
If
no,
there
no,
is
no,
any
no.
seer to be sought out, it should be amongst
He
us.
said he'd
They
spoken.
wronged us a long time before they wronged your prince. They murdered people in our domain 6-7 years ago. So we got dibs on this. That is it. Doesn't matter. Your crime came after ours.
You are saying that we, the Camarilla, cannot take part in this. We have to hand it over to whoever.
We have jurisdiction.
No, this is a joint matter. We are working together. I can feel that there is someone who could help us.
Do you know who it is? Do you have a
It
name?
will come to me.
Okay. Well,
If
There's
we
not
have,
just Teach in charge. There are others as well. We can
if
talk
we
to
have
him.
nothing, if we have nothing, then we should take any lead we can, wherever that comes from, providing it is not from the Tremere.
We have something because I carved it from that bitch's body and I hold it. It is my trophy.
Matilda sees out of the corner of her eye a police officer that is looking at you, estranged, and then looks around, and then looks at you again, as in, with his body language, is basically, what are you doing here?
where are we right now?
You are next to the parking space where Dermot found the
Shit.
earring. So
Okay.
you've been having a quiet chat, and police have cordoned the area, and no one's approaching you. So you have been sort of like alone, but you have not left. You know.
Okay. Right, I'll tell everyone, get in the car. And I'll point to the police officer. I'll say, I'll sort that one out.
Right?
So you guys get into the car. Matilda approaches the guy.
I'm gonna say, I'll just say, you didn't see anything here, did you? And then I'll use one of my disciplines. I've forgotten the name of cloud memory.
Cloud memory. Okay.
I'll forget. No, I just say the word forget, I guess.
Yeah. You will forget.
Oh. Do I need to roll for that?
No.
Good, because I'm on hunger for.
You usually for level 1 disciplines, it's very rare that you have to rouse.
Lush.
I was thinking if you needed to do a contested roll against him, but he's a mortal and he was not expecting it. So of course he's going to be in a haze. You sort of like, turn around, push him in a random direction, and you go back to the car.
Yeah, I'll hop it out of the.
That way.
Yeah. Okay. So where are you driving to? What are the plans?
I'm gonna ask them. You said you spoke to your prince. How did you speak to your prince?
I called to him on the winds and he answered.
Naturally. Okay. Right. So he knows.
Aye.
That's fine. Okay.
Like,
No.
yeah, as far as Dermot is concerned, yeah, he knows.
Good to know.
We have talked all this evening, to and fro. I hear my brothers and sisters on the winds, and they hear me.
That sounds nice. You two, where do you want? Back to Yanish's.
Hi.
Yeah.
Dermot, where do you want to go?
Back to the HQ.
Right. Okay. And I'll do a round trip. I guess I'll drop.
Yeah.
I'll drop Dermot off first, and then I'll drop the other two off.
Okay. So,
Wise.
very wise. So plans for the few hours left in the evening, or not many.
I'm gonna talk to Janish about this bone I stole, and ask him what the appropriate way to make an
Okay.
offering to compile with it is.
Oh, dude.
So we're gonna have that. Do you gather that that's gonna be a scene? I think it's gonna be a scene.
Yeah, I think it's a scene. I don't know if it has to be a really long one, but probably
Okay.
it is.
Dermot. Anything that Dermot is gonna be doing? He's slowly his clan bane, slowly going down. But yeah, he was. Now he's starting to realize that he had been like throwing nightly vibes through the cobweb. It got everyone's attention. It started with indignation and anger. The moment you found out that someone had been impersonating a Malkavian. And that sort of stirred the cobweb. And those who were sensitive to it paid attention because it was troublesome. And then they have been trying to decode whatever message you've been sending, but you have no idea what you have been sending.
He's probably going to lock himself away a bit in the... Well, he'll probably do is he's aware that he's hungry. So he's going to start trying to put something in place to have somebody turn up so that hopefully before he goes to sleep or when he wakes up that there's going to be something available for him to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to basically lock himself away, start with the music and the noise, and then just start trying to basically communicate as much as he can and try and bring some clarity to those messages that have been sent and focus on this earring, this trophy, and try and get an answer to who he needs to talk to.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're using your herd to feed.
Yeah.
So you call one of the usual hanger-ons, someone, a girl that is probably convinced that whenever you call her, you have an amazing good time, and she has too much to drink because she then is like super weak the following day and exhausted, tired. She doesn't remember. But it doesn't really matter. How much are you drinking?
Still on hunger 3. So we can normally get away with 1, maybe 2.
Two will leave her sort of like in the weakened state that like she will be drowsy, but not at risk. It will not harm her. She will recover as long as she's not fed from.
He needs to be ready for this fight, so he's going to take 2.
Okay, cool.
Definitely.
And that'll take the rest of the night for him calling, feeding, and then trying to pull himself together. Matilda?
Right, to try and avoid a bloodbath. She's going to go and try and talk to Roger, let him know what's going on. I'll just go to Ashton Court and speak to whoever she can find.
So, when you approach Ashton Court, someone comes to greet you immediately. Oh, thanks for showing up promptly. Please come on in. And you are taken into Ashton Court. The guy is walking at a somewhat fast pace.
She'll just sort of, I think she's been, like, over the course of the evening, probably cried a little bit, so she'll, like, wipe the sort of blood stains off of her face and just kind of pull herself together.
Okay. So, the person that you're going to talk to is Christopher Hughes.
know him?
He is the former Camarilla Bruya head honcho that went to the Anarchs.
Cool. Nice.
He is in a very poor state. Very poor.
Physically?
Sorry?
Physically, he's
Yes,
been, like,
yes. Like he is being shot with something that looks like burned, like just like Janish. He's half covered in blood.
Right. As I sort of see him looking a bit disabled, I'll say, rough night.
We were attacked.
Which postcode were you at?
PS41. Royer and I were there.
What did you see?
Fire and blood. And I think my old sect is not happy with my defection.
They tend to not be.
Why are you here?
I am Gareth Davis, Scott Roberts. We know who's responsible.
Who?
We know. It's classified information at the moment, but just rest assured that we do know. It's in hand.
Well, Roger is not here. And unless he shows up, I'm now chief representative.
Where is he?
Haven't seen him since the attack.
So he's missing.
Aye.
We also have a lead on who attacked the different postcodes. Society of Leopold. It's not the Camarilla. So you can stand your boys down.
It'll take a little bit more than your word. No offense.
What do you want?
Perhaps a representative backing you up. Who do you have that can vouch for this? Anyone experienced this? Saw this?
I have my coterie. I have my friend, who is currently a victim of the mess tonight. I have...
Oh, a victim? If she comes and says who was the person who attacked her, or why should I believe you, then I might. Who is this friend?
Not in our clan. No. Actually, sorry. Squid is
Anarch, but
Oh,
he
Squid is
is completely scorched.
Scorched. Yeah, okay.
Audrey's the one that is not an Anarch. Never been. She has 2 out of 3, but Anarch ain't one of those.
You need... Just take my word for it. It's not a Camarilla. It is the Society of Leopold.
Probably is a paramilitary group of the Camarilla. They're insidious and you know it.
I know what they're like. This was stupid, this was reckless, this was destructive, and it didn't work like that.
Camarilla and Bristol operate different than the Camarilla in Leeds, Matilda. I know who you are. I've heard an awful lot of stories, especially when I was in the other camp.
Do you believe everything you hear?
Not everything. Well, at least I don't see how you could be Obasi's lover. The man is disgusting. But he seems to like you, and you have been seen talking a lot. So I have my doubts.
Do you know what you're talking about?
The rumor mill. What everybody talks about. You defecting because you travelerize something. Running away from the Primogen. Embracing without permission. Having a blood hunt on and off. Who knows what's true and who knows what isn't? Only you.
Yeah, only me.
That makes your message a little less reliable, don't you think? Society of Leopold will be classified by the Anarchs as an extension of the Camarilla.
So that's how it is.
Well,
Just whatever information you get, you just twist it the way you want it. The way that serves you.
you're walking a very thin line. And I don't have the patience. Not tonight.
Fine. I've done my job. I've said
You do know that he will use this information the way he just said it. Like, that is what he will do. He will basically unleash the dogs. The war dogs. The battle dogs.
unless you want, Teach, and I will let Teach know that you were responsible for ignoring a very clear bit of information that I gave you, unless you want him on your ass.
Okay, so this is a social combat.
I have 0 willpower. Great.
That is great to know. That is great to know. No, actually, you do have because you had 0 willpower at the end of last session. So all of you, sorry, I forgot about that. At the end of the last scene, which was the last scene of Diarmuid, like the conclusion of Diarmuid's Bane taking over his perceptions, everybody regains the highest of your compulsion or resolve in willpower.
Okay. Thank God.
With the exception of Diarmuid, he regains 1 less because he was like really drained after the experience. I mean, also his arm hurts like at the elbow for the big swings, but it's a good pain. You know, it's like I give it to her like boom. So Matilda, this is going to be what is your approach? I think you're name dropping.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're taking up a stand.
Yeah.
You're not trying to subtly convince him, nor you are threatening him. You're saying, this is the way things are done. I was given a message and you're choosing to ignore it, and I will go through the proper... You know, it's like you're showing initiative.
Yeah.
Forceful initiative. But what is your approach? Are you being conciliatory? Persuasion. Are you being threatening? Intimidation. Or are you being commanding? Leadership.
Probably leadership.
Okay, so you're basically saying this in a commanding fashion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
this is going to be your composure plus leadership, because a cool, calm, and collected leader is kind of compelling. You get to add 5 dice for Teach's status.
Oh, good. Nice.
But you subtract 2 dice because you're a suspect. Former,
even though he's
former Camarilla. So he has been subject to all of all of the wrong information about you there is.
I was kind of all on the money apart from Obasi's lover. Okay, so
I mean, that can
three
always be true. Sorry, what?
countless. So it's
I
a
don't know.
3 then. 5 minus 2.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm saying is not it could be true in the future. It's like that could also be true. Like any of the rumors could be true. That's what he's saying. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. You can only reroll 1 non-hunger die if you want to.
No, it's fine.
No, okay. So let's see how he fares with this. It's a good thing you didn't rouse the blood. Oh yeah, because you're really hungry. Come on, roll 20. Stop the suspense. Ooh. So you see, like, both of you lose 1 willpower point.
Oh.
You have the same number of successes. That's what I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But he immediately backs away. He's really forceful, and he goes like, Teach knows this information.
That's what I said.
Fine. I'll call everyone off for tonight.
That's all I ask.
One night is all you get, Matilda.
That's all I need.
And he just reclines back into the chair, basically dismissing you by ignoring or failing to acknowledge your continued presence in front of him.
Great. Okay, I'll turn around. I'll give him a little bit of a smile, and then I'll turn around.
Okay, well done. And I believe that is where we can go to a break and then come back with the I got a creepy bone with me scene, you know? So
Creepy, it's very reasonable. So,
first things first, big shout out to the wonderful Jason for representing and playing the part of Dr. Edward Boyd, and the lovely Amy for taking on the role of the beautiful Alma on Dermot's Embrace last week. It was a very fun experience to have you both in the stream. Having Amy a second time in Blood on the Severn, I have to say, we're making history here. It was really nice, and the community was really lovely, and the response has been really positive. So thank you to you too, and thanks to the community for that. I believe there is a patron-related information shout-out.
Yeah. Yes, a shout-out to one of our new patrons, a name strangely familiar to me, but I can't quite place from where.
I've not heard of him.
Phil, thank you very much for supporting
Phil
us.
is our supporter, and as every supporter, they get shout-out, just like our last supporter that I...
Yeah, and if you are one of our supporters and you haven't recently checked Patreon, there is some new art made with love and possibly other things. Currently,
including talent.
it's made with crayons.
Talent optional.
Not macaroni.
No.
And there will be further goodies coming on Sunday for those of you supporters. So thank you, and keep an eye out.
Any other shout-outs we gonna give? Okay, so it's 35 past 8. So we're going to go in a 15-minute break, and we will return at 10 to 9 local time. So to all of you who are watching, see you in 15 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome back for part 2 of this, the first episode of the 3rd season of Blood on the Severn. And we left it with the final scene for this crazy night, in which Nanjasel and Janusz are on their way back Actually, they are back at Janusz's domain. Matilda dropped them there. After everything.
Okay. So I'll say to Janusz, your time to have a chat.
Yes. He'll probably start making his way towards the river.
Okay.
As we're talking.
I'll just walk in the direction that he's walking in.
And he'll say, seems there is much to talk and think about.
Can you believe all this was Annie? Just like I said all along. Can't believe it.
I'm struck by it, Giselle.
I bloody knew there was something off about her, I'm telling you.
For you said, in a clear, ringing voice, that was the case. I did not hear it, for it seemed to me that one who claimed to have visions of the gods said otherwise. Now,
Might mean they both lied about having visions of the gods. Which probably means if she's lied about that, then she's worth even less of our time. Except to want her down and kill her.
yes, she must be punished, for she has done many things. Murdered many Cainites, kindred, has defiled our land, has taken the name of one clan's blood instead of her own, has devoured the souls of many. Yes, she must be made to suffer. I appreciate what you tried to do with Teach this night. It was a dangerous thing, a brave thing.
I don't want him sticking his ear in. Figured we could take care of this ourselves.
Yes,
You
I'm
know what
sure
we could
we
do
could.
though? If you want it to be us, what does it? We could just send a word. Then they'd skedaddle and you wouldn't know where they are and I could follow them.
I am... Provided they are dead, and provided we can have some of them for ourselves, such that they can be dealt with appropriately. That is one thing. But their leader, he must be our... not Teach's.
Alright.
But Teach knows nothing of him for now.
Alright. Listen, when we was at the warehouse, I picked some up. I don't have any use. I'll produce whatever bone it is that I've got.
Yeah. It's probably
I'll
a small
send-
one. It's probably
Finger bone.
from a hand. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say, he got this. Belonged to Jacinta. You know what Annie killed? I don't know. Something struck me about it. I thought maybe we could give this some sort of offering to Kapana. Ask his favour so he sees things our way or helps us in doing this.
I think it will be a fitting apology, for we have not found this Annie, that is her true name, for a long time, and she has carried out profane acts on our doorstep, and she has escaped again. This bone, who did it belong to?
Belonged to Jacinta.
Ah, then
Who
it
she
is
killed.
perfect.
Why?
Jacinta was given a warning by the gods, and she did not heed it. She failed to take their gift and use it to survive. So it is fitting we use her remains as an apology. Yes, yes.
Do we have time to do it tonight? Or do we have to wait and take our time? I'm just Just wondering if it might be better to do it now, and then we've apologised before we go and meet with Teach tomorrow.
Yes, it would do well to make our peace for our failures
Right.
before moving tomorrow.
I was thinking to go and visit Audrey.
Hmm.
Lug dropped her off with Squid. Seemed to me like she was, in a bit of dire straits because he was in a bad way, wasn't it? I figured. I know what it's like to be in that sort of place. I could have a chat to her.
I'm sure she would benefit from your wisdom, then.
I mean, if it happens that you don't make it, then, she'll need a shoulder to cry on.
Mm.
And she seemed like a nice enough girl.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Alright. It was a bit weird about Diarmuid, wasn't it? Don't know what was going on with him.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like himself. I'd never seen him like that before.
For a moment, I was offended by his tone, and then I realised it was like being offended by a babbling brook. It was sound, but not sense, that issued from his mouth.
Was he calling you Squire? What's that even mean?
It is strange. It is almost as if another voice issued from his mouth. I often find him hard to understand, in truth. He speaks strangely, I think. But not in this way. This was a different form of strangeness.
If it was someone else's voice speaking out his mouth, how do we know he wasn't being sent a vision? Could just be a different way of doing it than what was the case with Carl.
Well, his visions did not seem to bear much fruit this time.
No.
There is another matter, which is Carl's visions cannot be trusted, the ones he had with Annie. And indeed, it seems that Annie is the one who is behind all of this.
Right, yeah.
That means that Roger Smith has had nothing to do with this. That means that I have been led a merry chase for many years.
Well, I don't know if that follows suit. I mean, remember way back when I said if I was Roger,
Yes.
or somebody else powerful doing this, I could make it look like what I wanted.
Yes.
Maybe that is still exactly what happened, and they thought they had a vision, but that isn't what happened. So both things were false.
Well,
Sorry.
the only thing I can be sure of is that we must find Annie somehow.
And you not take our eye off the society. I mean, this is the chance, right? To do them in for good.
Yes.
To get put right what went wrong, and to make them pay for those things. I don't think it's worth losing that, even for Annie. All the people in the world's going to be looking for her once we report in.
You are right. The society must be made to pay, and they are large enough that we may need Teach's help.
Right. So we need to make sure. Sorry, go on.
But Teach, for all his age and power, is a heathen. He
True.
is a blind man. And he will not offer some of his kills to those who should be remembered. And that is why we must be there to take some offering to the gods.
Can I was just thinking, is there a way that if we go there with him, or I go there with him, I can take care of them, or kill them in a way that is that kind of offering? I was thinking, if I disappeared back into the earth, like I did before, and I was hanging on to him, then that would be the end of him, right?
But, Nandazal, whilst that would be a fitting thing, it must be in a sacred place.
We got to bring him back here.
Yeah. It must be done here. The ground here must be fed, not elsewhere. But they are scattered, this society. Teach will want to hunt them down. Provided you get to hunt some of them. It'll be a simple matter to bring them here. Let Teach thin their numbers, but let us do things as they should be done.
Maybe if I can send Teach's people after the folks I recorded, that frees up their leader and leaves him on his own.
Yes, he must be.
Wait, I got to get him or not touch him?
There will be a time, but the leader should be taken at the end. Should be taken at a sacred time. Should be given when this is all done.
All right, if we get him too early, they'll be into the wind and we won't know nothing about it.
He is the anchor that holds them here.
Where's the best place for us to make our apology? Is it where we were before, in the woods?
Yeah, it's the woods. Where the wind can be heard in the leaves. The voices of the gods sometimes are there. The voices that Jacinta did not heed. And that's what destroyed her.
Right.
So.
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Oh no.
Okay.
I thought
yeah, no, it's fine. You can.
Yeah,
you can
I thought the scene was ending. So you were going to do this first thing the following night.
If there's no time tonight.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So everyone goes to, well, let's call it sleep. As the sun comes up and your bodies stop being responsive. So I'm going to have to ask rouse checks for the next evening from all of you. Janice and Diarmuid are okay. Matilda goes hungrier. I believe that
I'm
was
at
you.
hunger 5 now. Do I wake up frenzying?
No. But you are on edge. You cannot voluntarily do rouse checks until you feed. And you are on the verge of frenzy. So I need to know what you do. Oh, yes, Nigel does not go hungry. She remains at hunger 3.
Carlos, I will also try to heal. I presume you just need to keep healing. It doesn't heal naturally.
No, you will need to heal the last one.
I got 2 more, so I will rouse for another one. So I will go a bit hungry, and I'll leave it at that. So I'm still a little bit hurt.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Matilda, hunger 5. Good morning.
Good morning. I think I need to feed. I can't go see Teach on hunger 5.
Well, you can. I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah, it's not very cash money. Yeah, I guess I'll.
So, what are you doing? You have not used your herd because you decided to poach on Camarilla territory last time.
Yeah, but I also.
But that also means that you will make a hunger frenzy check by smelling blood. Tasting it will make it even harder.
Right. I don't know if she's thinking particularly clearly, and going for her herd seems like the easiest option at this point. So, yeah, she'll just try and feed from her herd.
Okay. So she can get in touch with them fairly easy because, again, winter, the moment you are waking up is the moment they're finishing their job for your firm.
Yeah.
So...
Okay. So I'll, when I see them, I will... I mean, are we meeting at my firm or maybe somewhere for drinks?
You can meet them at the firm. the little place. I mean, you can just show up at the end of the day.
I will, yeah, and I'll call them. I'll call one of them in for just a quick meeting.
Yep. So people will leave and someone will stay there to give you sort of how the day had gone. And they ask, are you okay? Are you feeling fine?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You took the day of leave. You look a little rather pale.
Yeah, I feel a bit peaky, but I'm okay now. Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you just let me know? Why don't you just take a seat?
Yes. Well, today we had a couple of potential clients, and then he starts.
She'll walk around as if she's like taking a book off of the shelf and having a look at it, and then kind of do that a couple of times until she gets closer to him, and then.
And then, can I have a hunger frenzy check from you? So it'll be your willpower plus. Well, you just do.
Have we recovered any willpower overnight, or is it no?
No, unless you have moved closer to.
No.
Wait. You recovered one willpower, because your desire was to find the cloaked figure. I mean, you're lucky that I'm looking at your character sheet right now. So you recover one willpower. So that gives you one extra die. But
I have 3 willpower, which means I add 3. Yeah.
Well, you just roll for frenzy. It'll ask you how much willpower you have, which in this case is 3. And then it'll ask you what's your humanity, because you get a little bit of a bonus there.
And that is 6. Or is it 5 because it's the empty boxes?
No, it's your humanity is 6.
It is 6, yeah. Okay. Sorry, no modifiers.
Ooh, so that would have been enough. 2 successes would have been enough not to go into frenzy after tasting blood, had you been in hunger 4.
No.
It is not the case in hunger 5. You can succeed at a cost.
Yes, please.
You don't even know the cost.
Tell me what the cost is first. Yeah, let's actually hold on. Just tell me what it is first.
Well, the cost is this was Roger's favorite human. No. So by succeeding, you will not go into frenzy. Okay? That is what will happen. But he will be severely injured due to blood loss, because you will not be able to stop yourself before having drained at least 3 blood from him kind of rather quickly, which will send him to the hospital category, which will hamper both your herd and will delay your firm into coming online until he's well.
If I go into frenzy, what happens then?
You drain him dry. You end up at hunger 0 and he's dead.
Right.
Effectively losing one person of your herd, having to hide a body, and
yeah, no thanks. I don't know.
Is one of your herd more important than your firm?
Well, I think more just for Matilda. I think she'd pull back before killing him because she doesn't want to deal with hiding a body. It's more fuss than it's worth.
Well, I mean, on the flip side, you will be at hunger 0. Like, you will have no hunger dice until you fail a rouse check.
You should just kill him because you know someone with a box. It's fine.
That is a really good point.
It's an excellent point. I should be listened to more.
That is, I mean, this is a lesson of this session.
Yeah.
Listen to Nandra more.
Yeah, especially Did I mention he qualifies as innocent in this context? Just, throwing it out there.
You've got loads of humanity. You can afford to lose. I'm not encouraging him.
Take another trip to Staintown.
Nope. She's gonna be good. She's gonna stop it. She'll take us. She'll succeed at a cost.
Yeah, so she will drain him and then call an ambulance.
Call 911. Yeah.
999. Because if you call 999, well, if you call 911, and he gets redirected to 999 because people here are smart and do that.
So yeah, she'll hang around for a little bit. She will. Hopefully, I think she would wait until everyone's gone home to do this. So no.
Yeah. He's literally the last person, and he has had blood loss, and it'll take a little bit of covering up.
Yeah. What hunger am I at now? Have I gone down to
to 2?
2 grand. Okay, all right. So she's feeling a little bit better, but also guilty. Great.
Yeah.
And
it's a good thing that the Chronicle tendency you should not kill and not harm the innocent, because if it was harming the innocent, stains galore to everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
Okay.
Once that's all wrapped up, she'll make her way to
Avonmouth. Okay. So I would imagine that also Nangisel and Janish are awake.
Post finger
Early.
bone ceremony.
And yes, early, and they perform a ritual offering in which you are given the gods palpable proof that their words are not to be ignored, that their messages are to be held dearly and followed. You are, after a fashion, apologizing on Jacinta's behalf. And the finger bone is thrown into the small fire, where it sputters and hisses a bit. And there's a little bit of cracking. A slightly different sound from the one on the wood. And then it is left there to thoroughly burn, so then the ashes can be covered by mud. And then by fertile soil. And that hole in the ground where the fire is burning will become a new place for a tree to stand. A reminder on holy ground that you didn't just ignore the warnings of the gods. And I assume Log takes you to Avonmouth?
Mm-hmm.
And I assume Dermot also makes his way to Avonmouth?
Yeah, is there any chance to try and get hold of the prince or any...
Well, for you, yes.
Oh, Primogen, yeah. So trying to get hold of them to try and update them on the situation.
Okay, so
before leaving.
So the person you get in touch to in order to talk to the prince is the Primogen.
Yep.
Who happens to be with the prince. So he puts you on speakerphone. Dermot?
Oh, Your Majesty. Things are not particularly good at the moment. I don't know how much you know, but
is this safe?
I've made this as secure as I can. I'll try and keep things discreet though.
Go on.
Look, you probably know about the fact that there's people out for blood and the likes. It certainly doesn't look good on us. I don't know how bad it is, but I'll try and find out. But we got a couple of problems and traitors, you know.
Traitors?
Yeah. There's a member of our group who's been pretending to be one of us. You know, just like the three of us. And turns out they're not. They might be the one doing all the killing. Well, not all the killing, but sounds like they're after some revenge or some such.
Are they responsible for last night?
They're certainly partially responsible for it, yes. But not... It's complicated. There's more than one thing going on at the moment, it seems. We're not entirely certain how much it's meshed up. We're going to go and see Teach, but we'll fill him in properly. But I thought you should know that, you know, this is a couple of members of our group who's been partially behind some of this stuff. One of them's, you know, Caleb. He's gotten involved. Head over heels in love, you know, does crazy things to a man. Seems to have been led by the nose by a right old bitch. Who's on a vengeance path or some such.
Was Caleb behind the attacks on the Anarchs?
There was talk of maybe one of them talking to some other fellows, but it's some other religious group that's behind the attacks on the Anarchs.
So it's not Caleb against those attacks, right?
We don't believe so, but we need to find out. And I don't think... Yeah. He's been doing some stupid shit, frankly.
Do you have a name on the ones behind the attacks?
Josiah Leopold, I believe. That's what's mentioned.
Come and see me after you see Teach. You might have just bought me enough time to fend off a war.
We don't really want that, do we now?
No. For that war extends all over Europe if it starts here. And it does so in a fortnight. I've seen it.
It's not good. We got anybody who'd be able to, you know, do a little bit of stuff on a thing to try and find a person?
You do know that Prince Nathaniel was a seer.
Mm-hmm.
As in ages ago. But what you're asking is a specific type of scene.
Yeah.
Sort of a spirit's touch kind of scene.
Yeah, he knows people can do stuff. He's just not going to ask outright, you know.
Mm-hmm. What is this you need examining?
Got a possession of the person we're after, and we just need to try and somehow find her. See if we can track her.
Bring it with you.
Or learn what we can.
Yes, bring it with you.
Okay.
Come to my domain at midnight after you finish with Teach.
If I'm let out in good behavior, then we'll see. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Thank you. And then you hear the voice of your primogen. He's waving you goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye. And then he hangs up.
Okay.
Because, of course, he's kind of old and speakerphones confuse him. So, you all make your way to Avonmouth. You are all made to wait in the parking lot on the way to the piers. And you are taken around the offices by Caroline. And Nan Giselle sees Teach's boat again.
Shit.
And she sees some of the guys of the crew manning it, so she looks ready to sail.
The big chain thing on the front of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still there?
Yes.
Okay. Has it got anyone or anything attached to it?
No.
Good to know. Okay.
It's on the prow. It's not dragging. Yeah. It's on the prow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all asked to step in on the boat.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the engines aren't turned on, and it sails out of the marina and into the Severn, where at some point they kill the engines and draw the sail. And all of this time you have been on deck. Teach is not around. And now the door opens, and from the depths of the boat, from the cabin, is Teach.
What a romantic night this.
He is covered in blood. You do realize it's not his. So I want to know everything that happened last night. Everything you found out. Before I share with you a little problem that we have in our hands. So let's start at the beginning of the night. Anarchs were having their votes, happy with their election. And then all of a sudden, 2 areas are attacked at the same time. They knew what they were doing. And they were somewhat efficient. And then I get a message from Ruben saying that you had found something and you had jumped out of a car. Now, Giselle, why would you just leave him there? A clansmate of yours, a fellow Tarkis.
He was dealing with the police. And I was going after the society so I could track him down and know where he was. I didn't have time to wait because he was running away. And Ruben, he can handle himself, right? He don't need my help. He's a fucking mariner, isn't he?
Now, why was there a burned anarch in a warehouse, and why was this Cami girl holding on to him? Why were you made to look like a Colander, Dermot? Why were they shots fired there? Why were the bones and ashes of Jacinta lay there? Because, yeah, we cleaned up the place before proper investigations took place.
I was contacted Jacinta to tell her that she wasn't safe. She said that she had been contacted by Caleb, who was offering her safe passage out of the city. We know Caleb to not be trustworthy. We know him not to be a man of his word. So we told her not to. And then she dropped out of contact before giving us a location. So Dermot and I went. We confronted them. And found that he was working with Annie. Who pretended to be
I mean, we listened a bit first, and it sounds like they had some kind of plan to take revenge against some people. Sounds like they was targeting people like Jacinta. From what we've seen on the surveillance, that's what they've been doing. And sounds like they was going after, her and maybe Roger as well. And a few others. So who knows what they've been doing, but if they've been killing, they've been breaking the traditions, and frankly, there's no friend of the cam if they're breaking the rules.
So the way I see it, two things happened last night. The Society of Leopold attacked two places.
I
And this woman, Annie, and Caleb used the confusion, the commotion, to get Jacinta out.
Seems to be about it.
Doesn't that strike you as oddly convenient for them to have found an opening that is so interesting, especially because the other place that was targeted was the voting center where Roger was at?
well, she was after Roger, like Dermot said, and Jacinta. Maybe she just got hold of the society and told them. That's her easiest play, right? Because there's no danger to her. And besides, even if Roger kills them all, she's lost nothing. There's nothing leading back to her, is there? If she's successful, they do Roger in, and she ain't never got to stand for it. But they took off from the warehouse on foot. We ain't know where they are. Seems to
Certainly
me.
wouldn't dispute that. I mean, yeah, get somebody else to do your dirty work. I mean, they've been lying to us for quite a while, it would seem.
So you harbored this woman when she was a refugee, allegedly.
Right, she was assigned to us then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Only for a matter of weeks.
She claimed to be of Clemalcavian.
But
One lie amongst many.
She never stayed in the city.
No,
And
she
went to Edinburgh.
Well, at least that is where she said she was going.
Well, I believe Edinburgh is Camarilla territory, so Dermot, if you can inform your sect that the Malkavians in Edinburgh need to answer a few questions.
Oh no, you see, she and Devon are Malkavian.
No, she's a.
She's been pretending to be a Malkavian. That's how much she's been lying to us.
Right. She also was in Gloucester, Teach. That's where I so when we was investigating Caleb before, I followed him by his car from Clifton all the way. He drove to Gloucester and he picked her up at a service station and brought her back in here. So he was responsible for bringing her back here.
So it's the same broad.
Right, yeah. But turns out he had a thing with her, right? That's what you said, isn't it, mate?
No, it's
Right. So, but she, I don't know whether it's a real or imagined thing, but that's the other place where she's been. And based on what Dermot and Matty saw, seems likely she's Tremere. She ain't no Malkavian at all.
She is the one who defiled our domain all those years ago.
Jonathan Fowler, you remember him, did you Teach?
She is the one who devoured his very soul.
And Caleb aided and abetted her.
She is the one who has been murdering Kindred, the murder, in fact, that was covered up by Caleb.
Sends a mountain up,
So she's
domain, destruction, Amaranth, it's all there.
She's the one you caught on video.
She's been pretending to be this woman with a Roman style nose and a cloak, but when you heard her talk, it was definitely her. And she was not the same person that I met when went along for any of the clan meets or Camarilla socials.
Well, if she's a Tremere, as you claim, then the murder of Gareth Scott and Jonathan Fowler are all linked now.
Yes.
That was what we thought.
That's what we had been saying for some time.
Because Jonathan was found in the middle of a ritual circle.
Aye, but there were no proof back then, and there is now. You see, the city...
But Teach, we took her with us when we went to examine the circle all them years ago. So she was right there when we was collecting the evidence, because we didn't know no better then. She was with Carl. That was when she first said she had a vision. But now, who knows whether she had visions at all, or whether it was all just a blag. But anyways, it means she's been going on doing this for at least, how long? 6 years?
Which clearly she can look like somebody else, so...
Hang on a second. Are you telling me that this informant you had, who gave you Roger as the main suspect of the diablerie of Jonathan
Was her.
Fowler?
Right. Exactly. Was her.
He turns around and what you hear is, "Fuck me!" Double time. And everybody, like, you hear the engines come to life. This is no longer a sailing. We're going fast. You reach an area. Shallow waters. You're wading them. And then Teach tells Lanusel, "Take off your jacket. You don't want to ruin that good leather. You're diving with me." Now, the others don't know what's going on. Lanusel knows fully well what you're going to do. For you jump down into the waters and let yourself sink for a bit with the aid of a weight that you're given. Not too far from where you are, but deep. It might be shallow waters for a vessel, but it is deep for a person. Even in low tides, where we are right now, you can see a couple of figures bound and chained to the bottom. Of course, you cannot see super clearly. You don't have like an Yeti membrane in your eye. But when Teach approaches one of those bodies, he just grabs one of the chains and snaps it. And you can hear the under the water, like a pitch. And he just undoes by just pulling apart with insane strength, but very precise, some links until this man is taken out of those chains. And you start going up. Of course, you can see in the dark because of your eyes of the beast.
Yeah.
But as you are approaching, the sun is shining, then the moon is shining. You realize that you're holding Roger Smith's body out of the water.
What? Okay.
Mariners on deck throw ropes at you. You just hold on to one and you're pulled towards it. And then Teach gives them one of the arms, so Roger is put up.
What the fuck is going on?
Remember when I said that we had a little problem?
This was the problem?
Roger had
It's just
been
like
attacked.
Nanja's desire to just put everything in a box.
I'm telling you, if we would have done that from the outset, none of this would have ever happened. That was my recommendation right back when Annie turned up. And if we would have done that, none of this would have happened.
So you put him in a box.
No,
I didn't put him in a box.
he was
Jesus.
he was badly injured, and you can see like burns on his body. He was badly injured during the attack. But I had been given information that supposedly was reliable of him being the Diablerist. And that Roger Smith is not the kind of kindred that goes down without a fight. This is the best window of opportunity since 250 years ago when he was taken out of the picture. So I decided to keep him here until things were clarified. He had already been gone.
I think he might take offense at this, you know.
I think he's going to be pretty fucking angry.
No. I cashed in a boon. The person who put him down, Roger never saw coming.
It is, in some ways, to his advantage. With you hiding him here, beneath the water, it means that those who were seeking to destroy him could not finish the job.
Or
That
find
is exactly the angle I'm going to take when we procure some blood for him and wake him up from his torpor. He is staked, of course.
So does this mean that he lost the election, or is he still in the running? I don't understand how your things work with all this voting malarkey, but this sounds like a very complicated situation.
Actually, that makes Matilda remember that he was running against Christopher Hughes, and oh boy, is he gunning for war.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
So he, like, Roger being out of the picture had a knock-on effect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the elections are least of our worries at the moment.
Teach.
What,
Sorry, go on.
what do you need to wake this boy up?
Well, one anarch that will make sure that he's not being given vampire blood. I will take it. You want to volunteer, Matilda, to be to make sure that we feed him proper blood. Something that will get him back on his feet.
What about the society? Go and pick one of them up. Kill two birds with one stone.
Fine, I can do it.
First, let's deal with the Methuselah.
Yeah.
Just saying he could eat them, that's all.
It just requires a bit of a hunting and everything else, and might like have a knock-on effect. If we got what we need here, we probably need to get this sorted, sharpish.
Yeah,
Before the shite hits the fan.
the Alex are out for blood, and the longer that Roger's asleep and not able to smooth it over, the more difficult the situation gets.
Well,
Teach.
yeah.
What if we do what we was gonna do? Go find Annie, see if we can bring her back here. Roger can eat her.
We can't.
Well,
Oh, he's not exactly gonna be best mates with her, is he?
no.
Besides, you wake him up and you go, "This woman's trying to kill you." Done, innit?
I mean, he doesn't need to drink her dry to wake him up, does he?
No, but then you got yourself not just a reasonable doubt, but you got a culprit.
Yeah, but then we have a missing Annie. We don't know where she
Who
is.
cares? She's gonna die regardless.
No, what I'm saying.
Enough. Do you know the first thing about waking in an elder?
No.
You need another elder. Now, the Anarchs are in short supply of elders, aren't they not?
It's fair to say.
Not very bad, is it?
Would it be, I mean, the Cam's not really in favor of any big wars right now. So as a peace offering, I don't know if it would be viewed as the wrong way and all, but we could talk to finding somebody who we probably wouldn't take great offense at, receiving blood from. I mean, waking up would be nice, wouldn't it? So
Gets on with the prince.
Is not the prince a known friend of Roger Smith?
Yeah.
Aye.
Why do you ask him?
And would not a gesture such as this from the prince stop the anarchs from rampaging?
well, there you are. There's the library talking great sense there and mediating this thing out.
Also, Roger would not be in a very stable position to negotiate in favor of the Camarilla after drinking blood from one of them.
Solves another problem then, doesn't it?
I'm due to go and see the prince after this meeting, so perhaps
that's easy then, isn't it?
we could take him along, as he's not really resisting.
Well, you make sure to tell him, Dermot, that Roger Smith was taken to safety and retrieved from his assailants by the autarkies. Because
Makes sense to me.
That is what happened. Are we in agreement?
It's the only truth I know here, Teach.
Sorry?
Am I
The only
getting this
truth.
right? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Dermot?
The only truth I know.
Alice?
So we're delivering Roger Smith's torpored body into Camarilla territory.
No. You're staying by his side until we hear what he has to say, what Nathaniel has to say. The only neutral option I could think of is the librarian, but he went to torpor a few years back. That's why you have been seeing his child running things. He signed the accords. He got your coteries running. He was done with it.
So we're staying here. Dermot's going to speak to the prince.
Well, the boat is already gone around and booking it to the marina. So Diarmuid will talk to the prince, yeah. And and Matilda would take care of Roger as a member of his faction. But you two and I are going to talk about this information you have from the Society of Leopold.
Right.
And he asks you to sort of run by him the steps that you have already told him like twice about you following them and,
Yes.
So you do a third time, he says.
Yes.
So they have a base of operations in one of the churches here.
Right. I'll show him the footage on my camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I've been actually able to follow them without too much difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So I could pick one or two of them up and follow them, see if they go anywhere else, if there's any more of them. But I think this is the headquarters.
It is perhaps where they might meet, but doubtless they are scattered through the city. But now that we know who they are, we can find where they sleep.
Well, I will try to mediate with Roger and Nathaniel a truce between factions as we all operate on this. So your coterie will be in charge of getting all the information you can on the Society. People, especially anarchs, will want blood tonight if possible. They will want revenge. So hopefully we will be able to give them at least something, even if it's the assurance that we're preparing to strike back
Are you all right with me doing more surveillance to try and find out more about them? Or you want I should steer clear of them?
No, I need your eyes there. You know where they are, and you, Janice, seem to know a great deal about them from what you mentioned in our last conversation about your domain.
Yes, I have experience of them.
Well, let that experience grow and send that information my way.
I'm, no offense meant, Janice and all, but you ain't the most technological, astute individual, but, they might have details somewhere in their records or some such. We can get into their systems, we might be able to get some names and all, but...
Do you want I should try and plant something somewhere? I can try and get in the church easy enough.
Well, if you can scout it out, then once I'm finished with all this negotiation thing, I can come give you a hand. If you've got a way in, I can come in with you. And
I can see if I can find a way in. For sure. Is that all right with you?
Yes. Yes, if you wish.
Okay. So, Teach's boat goes back, and now the coterie has somewhat of a plan for the Society of Liverpool, at least in the surveillance area where Janice has some knowledge about them. Nanjasil will be doing the stakeout. Diarmuid will be using electronic means to hack into files, and Matilda can do her own legwork with the information provided to determine identities, properties, and all of that using the firm, which is sort of the whole package. But there is one last thing that needs to be done before midnight tonight. Or by midnight. Diarmuid, when you arrive, Diarmuid is allowed to step off first so he can get quickly in the car and go to see his prince. When you arrive, there are two people sitting outside in a bench. One of them is having a cigarette casually. And the only thing that strikes you about this, it's not odd. You are in Clifton. Nights out are a thing. There are a nice couple of seating areas. But you realize that in the entrance of this small gathering place that the prince has, there's two people you recognize. Reginald and Clarence. Two gangrel. The only two that you have are right there. And for all you can gather, they're standing guard. They see you. They wave at you. And they gesture towards the gate. Once inside, you have an audience with Prince Nathaniel, who is alone, pacing in a studio. Oh, Diarmuid, come in.
Your Majesty. There's been some developments and all.
What do you mean?
Seems like the warning we gave to Teach regarding this attack on Jacinta meant that the Autarchus took a little bit of precautions, and they were quick enough when Roger Stone and the boatswain station theirs was attacked to manage to get him to safety. He was badly wounded and all, and they managed to get him out.
The light in Nathaniel's eyes comes back. He opens his eyes like it's like infusing a man with hope. and it kicks right in. He approaches you very uncharacteristically of him, and he grabs you by the shoulders and says, Roger is alive and well?
He's needing waking up, but he's having a good nap at the moment, you know.
And he is with Teach.
Yeah, aye. Teach is drying him off. You know, he's got a towel and rubbing him away.
And he sort of like gets confused by the slang. We must go there. We must go there. And he just opens the door and calls to the Primogen. It's like, notify the Herald. We're going to Avonmouth to see Teach. He's in Avonmouth, right? He's still there, right?
Yes, we need to get down there because somebody needs to wake him up, and seemed like a good peace offering to, you know, help out. Maybe we could negotiate some terms with the actual person who's in charge of the annex and all.
Well, and there is the. We will. Yes, we will. We can. Let's just get moving. Let's go there. And he offers you to ride with him in his car as you give him a briefing of everything else as you drive to Avonmouth. So, this is wonderful news. But, apologies for my outburst back there. Could you? I didn't let you finish. Giving me all the information.
No. It's I'll kind of fill him in on the rest of the details that I've not already kind of shared with him, and I make it very clear that, you know, he has no need to apologize to me. And I'll say, look, there is this matter. I mean, I know we already have our own agreements, but this is pertaining to the investigation. We need to sort this out. I've got this earring, as I said, and we need to find this person. Otherwise, this is going to come down hard on us.
May I? And he extends a sort of hesitant hand.
I'll hand it straight over.
And he looks at it, and he covers it with his other hand and closes his eyes.
Actually, Your Majesty, could I suggest maybe there's been a lot of shade thrown across people doing stuff. Maybe perhaps this might be better to do with everybody else. There's a lack of trust at the moment. I'm thinking if we do this on our own here, it might not necessarily show the same faith that is needed.
I understand. You're always thinking of us, Dermot. You make your clan proud. Gain 1 willpower. For, you know, the praise of the leader of your clan goes very well with your conviction of my clan right or wrong. He hands the earring back, and he says, I will contact personally our brethren of the Camarilla in Edinburgh. She fooled us all, and even I couldn't see behind her. Well, it is difficult sometimes if they know how to hide themselves in plain sight.
This doesn't seem like some child who's just playing games. I mean, this is a vendetta that feels like it's been brewing for a time. I don't know who this person is. Well, we have no idea.
You mentioned them having an issue with Roger, from what you heard.
And it looks like they're Tremere.
Well, Roger has not had any interaction with the Tremere since he has been awoken in 2008. So, this woman is an old acquaintance of him, perhaps.
Why?
1747 or earlier.
Could well be an elder of some sort, pretending to be some kind of Malkavian neonate. It's fair enough for some, isn't it?
Very few people give much of a thought to our clan, especially the young ones when they're in distress, using the fall of London to fool everyone. Taking advantage of our compassion for our brothers and sisters.
Wait, well, we'll make her pay for it.
Yes, we will. And then he just looks out of the window, and you know he's processing all of this. In the meantime, Matilda gets a call.
Yeah.
You got your night. The night is done. I call you for two things. One, you better go back to Anarch territory soon. You should not be in Lockleys tonight, or anywhere near a Camarilla fellow. If
do not
you
want to do this.
retribution is what we're seeking here.
Retribution is bullshit. There is nothing.
Well, the elections have been declared invalid, given the results. Your peers amongst the Anarchs, my peers, the representatives that are still accountable for there are a couple that are missing, have agreed to allow me temporary powers to lead them, for they know I know the weaknesses of the Camarilla.
Roger is on his way back to Ashton Court. You do not want to make any decisions before he arrives. Believe me.
There is a very long pause. One that drives you to say hello, as if you're not sure there's someone on the other side of the... If you are lying to me, I will make sure the myth about no Anarch Ventru existing becomes a reality. And he hangs up.
Okay.
You gather you bought a little time with that.
Okay.
Maybe.
I will wait very impatiently on the side of the ship. Just wait.
Well, you have already... You are on the ship with Roger.
His eyes peeled, trying to...
Nangisel and Janice, I imagine, are in the offices with Teach talking.
Wherever Teach says I should be, that's right. Yeah.
Dermot arrives, lo and behold, with Prince Nathaniel. Hello. How have you been tonight? Nathaniel, this is a difficult time. Where is he? He needs awakening. And there is a voice outside. Apologies. You have a guest. Not now, Caroline. It's pressing. The moon is high. He opened his eyes wide and looks at Nathaniel. Nathaniel is just as puzzled as everybody else. He opens the door. Cassiel walks in And Morgan, the lore keeper, is with him.
Nathaniel, I wouldn't have expected to see you here. There are important news that need to be conveyed. It has been said that the Society of Leopold is responsible for last night. Everybody's heard of this. Only the Anarchs are not heeding to the information.
Aye, says Teach. Roger was wounded last night. I spirited him away, and Nathaniel is here to make sure that no funny business happens. We have also an Anarch observer.
Well, you better get that Anarchy here quick.
And he gestures.
We have important information. Are you in agreement that the attack on the Society, this Inquisition, is a threat to Autarkia's interests in Bristol? Teach.
Aye. They're a bloody fucking threat.
Do you, Nathaniel, agree that they also pose a threat to the Camarilla and its interests? The Inquisition has always been a threat. Aye.
And he just stays silent for a moment until, well, for as long as it takes for someone to go and literally tell Matilda, you better come quick. You're being summoned.
Okay.
You walk inside and he says,
Are you the one who is the custodian of Roger Smith's body right now?
Yes.
Well, you will speak with the voice of the Honors. Are you in agreement that the incursion of the Society of Leopold and the Inquisition are a threat upon your sect?
Without a doubt.
It is, isn't it? Morgan.
She produces an old document. In which, by the Accords of 1647 and ratified after the rules on the creation of the Autarkis faction, it is decided that during the time of an incursion of the Inquisition, should that scourge ever threaten our kind again, absolute control and power over the city of Bristol would go to him, the eldest holder of boons, so he can gather the army and fight the threat. Of course, Nathaniel and Teach look at each other like, we did not sign the original Accords.
Yakam and William did. I know. And this predates the library. But the eldest boon holder of the city was my sire. And he remains so. Only now he is not bound to any faction. He no longer is an autarchist after the creation of our small group of observants in 1878. This accord still remains in place. my sire will have to be awoken as well. For him, and him alone, holds total control of Bristol, while the society of Leopold is destroyed.
And that is where we're going to draw this session to a close. Thank you very much to our ghouls and our followers in Patreon, and to everyone who voted for, well, I'm sure that you have recognized throughout today's session what happened and the winner, the vote. And also, you are evil with the other votes that I have sent you. I love it. Sam and I have had hours of entertainment because of this. Do we have any final shout outs?
No, thank you for running, Carlos.
No, thank you very, very much to my players. And thank you to all of you who have been participating. Join our Discord if you want to know more about the votes. And big shout out to Sam for helping me orchestrate some of these events and votes as well. And with the knowledge that now a city that used to be for everyone is under the rule of one elder. Let's see how episode 2 of season 3 of Blood on the Severn runs next Monday. So until then, I'm going to love you and leave you, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye.
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 Bye.